Good afternoon, everybody. Joe Martin the Millet here, coming to you from Euston Station in the heart of London. Yes, I'm just waiting for my train at 4:20. No marijuana puns needed. And yeah, I decided I'd make a walking vlog today as my walk and talk around central London and tell you all about falling out with people. Yeah, that's right. So many years ago, I used to work at this cafe called Harvest Cafe and Bar. The manager there was Allison, who I previously worked with at a really crap Mexican restaurant that was run by a Uruguayan owner who wouldn't let me work in the bar. Years later, Allison hired me to be her dishwasher, but I was more about of a grill cook than a dishwasher. Sadly, I really wanted to become a waiter. I've been turned down so many times because I've only been spent a few years being a dishwasher in the industry of hospitality. So I basically said to Allison in February, I'm not achieving anything here. And she said, well, you haven't told me what you want to achieve. I said, well, Carlos is sodding off to Puerto Rico to fix up his visas. Why don't you put me in the front of house? So weeks later, Allison and Shelley closed Harvest Cafe and Bar, and that was the end of it. I stopped being friends with Shelley because, well, she was the one who pulled the plug on the business. And then a year later, I basically said to Allison, somebody else gave me the chance to be a waiter, so up yours. You just said things out of positivity about me because of sympathy, because of all my adversities. And I can't stand it when people are like, oh, you're stable, you're a good person and all. Just be honest when you give people good feedback. Don't make good feedback out of sympathy for adversities, okay? So I stopped being friends with Allison, and then just a few years ago, I actually fell out with the Catholic Church because I stopped being Catholic due to personal reasons. Many different reasons inspired me to want to leave the Catholic Church. I didn't want to seek any other faiths. A lot of people thought I could have become a Muslim. I have always thought of becoming Jewish, and I didn't find out I had Jewish roots until this year, but to become Jewish, it's really quite hard, but I believe, you could be a Jew by choice. So, a lot of people I was friends with at St. Michael's Catholic Church, I literally just stopped hanging out with them. I was like, I don't want to hang out with these people because it's like religion dividing us. I said to them, look, I don't want to be religious anymore. I'm sleeping with escorts, okay? This is what I want to do. You're not going to respect me. You're insulting me, Mr. Tran. You're calling me crazy because I went to the Islamic Republic of Iran, but you don't have the balls to go visit a Marxist nation or an Islamic Republic. And also in that Catholic Church, there was a guy called David Dowling, an Irish guy, moved to Sydney, lives in a $2 million house, but he's got no balls to go to the Pakistani embassy in Canberra and apply for a visa. Literally, David will always say, Martin goes to more countries every year than I do in my own life. I mean, you don't have to be a rich person to travel the world. You can be a poor person and you can go to every country in Europe. You just have to think well about this type of stuff. So, David Dowling, this guy, he doubted I could live in the United Kingdom. He knew very well that I had British ancestry. I was entitled to a British passport. I was entitled to live in this country. He literally is, an Irish migrant to Sydney. And I just thought, Dave, you're Irish, you being in Sydney and not in Ireland, you're not being loyal to your country of birth. I might be born in Australia, but I don't want to be loyal to my country of birth because I hate my country of birth. So, many years ago, after I moved to the United Kingdom, I told Dave that I got punched out in Birmingham, and he said, oh man, you gotta be careful of that, why do you say things in public? I didn't say anything bad in public that made this guy punch me in the face. This guy punched me in the face because I didn't have cigarettes, okay? So I didn't talk to David Dowling for about a year and a bit. And then when I've gone from 56 nations to 86 nations in 3 years' time, he's like, oh, you have to be careful, where are you going? They're gonna target you for being a Westerner. I'm like, Dave, you don't have any balls to go anywhere in the world but Ireland and Australia and the United Kingdom. And I mean, of course, if you sold your $2 million house in Sydney and fucked off back to Ireland, you could do so much more if you were living in Ireland. But you're not. You want to do the stuff, you want to live in Australia, and you want to be like an idiot and insult people like me who are like, I don't want to be Catholic, I want to go back to my own roots, I want to do things. If you are disrespectful to what I am doing in life, please leave. So I told my mom, like this week, I said, Mom, I can't stand David Dowling at St. Michael's Church. He's always doubted me that I could do this. He needs to go eat some humble pie. And my mom's like, oh man, I wouldn't trust any of those people at that church, man. They're so horrible. And I mean, my mom moved away from my hometown of Balcombe Hills many years ago, and she lives at the foot of the Blue Mountains. Recently, yesterday, I stopped being friends with this guy who I'm not going to mention. And the reason why I'm not going to be friends with him is because he's very insulting to what I do, okay? I will go on Instagram and I will literally say, visiting, these wax statues in London, what do you call it? Madame Tussauds. That is a damn tourist trap. It's all over the world. Why pay 30 quid when you could go to a really nice city like New York City or London and go to some historical sites for less than that? I mean, once the Handel and Henrik Museum reopens soon, you'll be able to see the flat where George Handel and Jimi Hendrix lived. Or if you go to New York City, for free, you can go see the building that is on the Led Zeppelin's 6th album, Physical Graffiti. I didn't say to my friend, I don't like you because you're a smoker, you do this, you do that, you don't think well about me. I just don't like you because you insult me for my choices in life. You say, oh man, you're not really Jewish because you only got 5%. I can still celebrate high holidays because of my 5% Ashkenazi things. I could be Jewish by choice, seriously. I don't care what other people say to me if they're gonna be like, oh man, because your mom was Catholic or your dad was Anglican, you're not really that Jewish. It doesn't, literally, you could be whatever religion you want in life, except for maybe Yazidism or Mandinianism or maybe Zoroastrian. I don't think you could ever convert to Zoroastrian and be like Freddie Mercury or Farrokh Basada. It's just that you need to decide what you want to do in life. There are always going to be people who doubt you, who disrespect you, who insult you and will mock you, and you need to do what my mom always said, was to kick the door shut and move on. Anyways, Martin Miller here, over and out.